Kickboxing Podcast. My name is Todd Grisham alongside Joseph Valtellini, the former welterweight champion of the world. We are in Oberhausen, Germany, gearing up for Glory Collision. Joe, how do you feel?
I feel good, minus my luggage going missing. Other than that, pretty good.
You've had the same clothes on for 3 days.
I do. And I have Tiffany beside me. I'm trying not to get my pits to smell, but
I can smell it.
Could you let me introduce her first? You've already ruined the podcast.
That's it,
20
it's
seconds
over.
in,
Surprise.
ruined it. The time bomb herself, Tiffany van Soest. Welcome into the podcast. Real quick, Joe has his notes opened up. What are her keys to victory on your notes when she faces Jessica Gladstone?
You didn't like
Saturday
them, though.
night?
I
Let's
already
hear,
told
let's
you
hear
you
them all.
didn't
What
like
are
them.
they? I'm sure they're...
well, I have Tiffany to use her speed and explosiveness, her footwork and her angles. She's got to make it difficult for Jessica to hit her. And she's good at putting herself in a good position to land. And I really love that shift steps that she did against Hasa. So I'm hoping to see that again from her.
What do you think of that breakdown?
I'd say that's accurate. That's fair.
Now, she's much taller than you, Jessica, and longer, correct?
Yeah, every opponent pretty much I've ever faced has been, so it's nothing new for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Including that banana tree.
And yeah, that was probably my tallest opponent. Thanks to Lucy Payne. Lucy Payne, and then the banana tree was taller than her, so yeah.
For those who haven't seen it, it's got well over 1 million views. It's Tiffany kicking a banana tree in Bali. And you told me if you win the title, you're taking it back to the banana tree. And what are you going to do with it?
I might put the belt around the banana tree and tell it thank you and read it some inspirational quotes. And because, a lot of people became environmentalists all of a sudden. And they're, what did that tree ever do to you? And it's a living thing. And like after it gives you bananas, it dies. You got to cut them down anyway. So I was just doing it a favor.
Can I be honest with something? I was upset you didn't kick it down. I was hoping you were going to chop it in half.
No, I just thought maybe a few kicks would be fine. Yeah.
You're so critical, Joe. Why just enjoy the fact
I was
that
trying
you
to break
kicked the
down her
tree?
technique. I'm trying to break down her keys to victory, and I wanted to see how her kick technique was.
Could you kick the tree down?
I think so. I hope so. I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Okay. We'll have to have you kicking a banana tree in Bali.
But you got to wear a bikini.
And I was going to say, I'm not wearing the bikini. No. Maybe a little Speedo.
Well,
I don't know about that
It'll
top.
make you Insta-famous.
I don't know. Hey, if it worked for you, I got to try
Totally.
it.
All right, obviously the big fight this weekend, Rico versus Bader. Before we get into it too much, here's a part of my exclusive interview with the champ, Rico Verhoeven, earlier today in Oberhausen.
We do a Glory podcast, and one of the topics someone asked about was Bader Hari intimidating you at the press conference. And Joe Valtellini said, I don't think so. Rico just kind of has that demeanor about him, whatever.
Yeah.
And the comments were off the page that, oh, he's so wrong. Bader has intimidated him. He's gotten in his head. He looks scared. He looked like a little boy. What's your reaction to that?
I don't even listen, man. Like I said, I was just sitting there. I was chilling. Because the thing for me is media has been talking to me for months. They know what I had to say about the fight. So there was no point in asking me too many questions. Because, of course, the time they were there, they wanted Bader's reactions. Because they haven't talked to him for over years. So that was the reason they asked him so many questions, because in the months October and a little bit November, I did every magazine. I've been on magazine covers these months, TV shows, whatever. Everybody knows how I think about the fight. So now they wanted to know Bader's way of thinking, And for me, he was just putting up an act. That's what he was doing, because I don't believe this was the real Bader. He just tries to be the funny guy, try to put out jokes and everything. And I was already feeling he was working towards some kind of climax, but it definitely missed out on every point possible, It was like, oh, he was funny, whoop, and he walk off, mop, mop, mop. I don't know what he was thinking, that he was like, oh, the walking off guy, the tough guy, but it was so stupid. But in the end, it is what he does, I don't really care what he thinks. And like I said, he's not in my head. I wasn't intimidated. I was just relaxed. And everybody's posting the picture of him looking at me, Yeah, how long was he looking at me? I don't believe he was looking at me for 5 minutes. Or else I would be looking at him, I don't care. We'd be staring each other down during the press conference. I don't care.
He had a chance to stare you down and chose
yeah,
not to, right?
He had the chance, he didn't. So, yeah, it is what it is. You know, I don't really think about it too much. Don't listen to it. You know, people can say whatever they want. And the thing is, don't think the quiet guy is scared. You know, that's the thing. Don't misinterpret
Mike Tyson
that.
didn't talk much in his prime.
Don't misinterpret that. You know, don't think about the quiet guy is scared, because quiet guy is ready. He's on point.
All right, last question. If you look into the camera and just take us through how you envision the fight. The bell rings, the fight starts. What happens?
The bell rings, the fight starts, and don't blink, because you're going to miss out on something. You're going to miss a great knockout.
Well, you didn't say who's going to get knocked out.
Oh.
It's not you, is it?
I'm saying it, so it should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more time.
Yeah? Right. The bell rings, don't blink, because Bonner's going to get knocked out. I wanted to say fuck, but I said, let's keep it nice.
Again, that was Rico Verhoeven, the Glory champion. And basically, Tiffany, he thinks he's going to knock Badr out because Badr's going to be too undisciplined and too wild. What do you think of that?
Yeah, Rico's very, very technical, and for his size as a heavyweight, he moves incredibly. So, you know, if he can keep it really technical, you know, there's a good chance that can happen. But Badr is Badr. You know, that guy, he throws every punch with bad intentions, and if you get caught by one of those, it's pretty likely that you're going down. So, if Rico can stay really technical, keep his defense tight, and pick him apart, then you know it'll be a good night for him. But again, Badr is Badr.
That's what everybody was saying. Like, I mean, there's different fighters. You have fighters who are very good technicians, but if you have that firepower that Badr has, you can never count him out of a fight. No matter how technical someone is, if you're just born with that natural power, you have a chance in any fight you have.
Something else Rico said in that interview, we didn't hear it, is that he thinks the heavyweights of today are better than the heavyweights back in Badr's golden era back during the K1 days. And that seems to be a dispute between the two of them. And Rico says once he wins this fight, he will prove once and for all that today's heavyweights were just as good, if not better, than the Peter Arts, the Sammy Schultz, the Ernesto Hus, the Andy Hoogs. Do you believe that?
I got to go with the old school kickboxers being better. I think there's more of them, and I think it was a more popular division. And I think a lot of heavyweights could have moved to MMA now, where they could have been good kickboxers. But back in those early K1 days, it was the heavyweight division that really put kickboxing on the map. So I don't know, man. I kind of agree with Badr on this one, saying that the old school kickboxers are better. Tiffany?
Were you a big K1 fan growing up?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your favorite K1 fight that you remember?
Oh man, there's too many to choose from. I don't even know. I like them all.
It's pretty cool now that you're a part of Glory, which used to be K1, and a women's division that used to not have a women's division. You're making history, a chance to be the first ever champion this weekend.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's incredible, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, break down the four-woman field as best you can, knowing that you're part of it. Obviously, you face Jessica Gladstone in the first round. Give us what you see when you watch her fight.
Yeah, she's really she comes from more of a traditional Muay Thai background. Weighted back stance, heavy with the 1-2, good solid left kick, probably some good long-ranging knees as well. Again, not a lot of angles, a lot of linear movement. And then you've got Mma Debut. She's a very, very sharp boxer, long, rangy, uses her distance and her timing very well. And then you've got Isis Verbeek, and she's, you know, classic Dutch kickboxer, aggressive, heavy hands, lots of hooks and low kicks.
Who do you think is going to win the tournament?
Me.
What do you think, Joe?
It's going to be close. Well, not Tiffany here, but I'm scared to say the real.
Honest, Joe.
No, I think it's going to be
honest.
Tiffany and Mma Debut in the finals. And I think they're very similar in style, which could create a good fight because they're very similar, or it can cause a slower fight because both of them are very good with range and distance. So I think I got to give the advantage to Tiffany being a little bit more explosive on the outside, better with angles.
And because I'm sitting next to you.
And because I'm sitting, but I mean, your angles I think would give Debbie a hard time. But she's tough, man. She's good with that in and out movement, and she attacks forward very aggressively. So I think it's going to set up for a good finals if those two meet.
So those two semifinals will be on the Glory Super Fight Series, which you can see on UFC.com or UFC Fight Pass. Then the final will be on the pay-per-view Glory Collision. How excited are you about fighting in front of 12,000 people here in Oberhausen?
That's pretty exciting. I'm expecting the energy in there to be absolutely electric. But you know, it doesn't take away from what I'm there to do. I'll fight in front of 12 people. I'll fight in front of 12,000 people. But when I'm in there, it's just my opponent and that's all it comes down to.
Would you fight 12 people at once? Like 12 random women who have no skill, like the old kung fu movies. One attacks you, put her out. Next one comes in.
Yeah, why not? It'd be cool.
Yeah.
We gotta try it.
Right, we should do it, right?
Would you fight a kangaroo? Did you see that guy hit
Yeah,
that kangaroo?
That's not, you know what? I'll kick a banana tree, but I think I will not fight a kangaroo.
You know-
They're big and strong, and they sit on their tails and use both feet to
Yeah.
kick you at the same time. And they can there's a video of a kangaroo guillotining someone, putting him out, and then this one's the dog.
Yeah,
He was
attacking.
holding the dingo, right?
Yeah,
Then the
yeah.
guy comes out, he lets the dingo go, and the guy hits him with a right
Punches him in the
cross.
face. He's like, that's my dog.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
something. Have you guys seen two giraffes fight? You guys got to look it up. I'm telling you guys, it sounds ridiculous. Watch the two giraffes fighting.
Can I use your joke from yesterday?
Yes.
Joe said if two vegetarians are getting into a fight, could you say that they have a beef?
But
Terrible.
You
joke.
liked it, though.
It was terrible.
Yeah, but the whole table was laughing, and
They
now you're
were.
using it again.
It was so bad.
You liked
I've
it.
seen did you see the hunter get beat up by the deer?
no.
You haven't seen that one?
No.
He goes out to shoot the deer, and the deer freaking hooves him to death.
Everyone listening has to watch the giraffe first, and then they can watch
All
it.
right. Maybe we should do another pay-per-view where people fight animals.
Nah, I like it.
Like the old gladiator days. Which animal could you beat, Tiffany?
I don't know which animal I would be.
Yeah.
I already caught a lot of heat for kicking a tree. I don't want
Right.
to kick an animal and catch even more and have PETA coming after me.
Right. You're rough. Let's get back to kickboxing. Joe, please. Enough of this.
People, not animals.
Nicky Holtzkin putting his title on the line against Cedric Doumbé. This is your former weight class. What's your thoughts on this contest?
I think Nicky's too technical. I think he's too good of a pressure fighter. I think his counter left hook is too vicious. His low kicks are good. I think he just outclasses Doumbé right now. It's not saying Doumbé doesn't have a chance because he does have that good power on the outside. He's very active on the outside, but I think Nicky's just at a different level, and Doumbé's too early in his career right now to come in and just face, the top in the division like that.
I'm gonna have to agree with Joe. Nicky he's a technician and he's a specimen.
He looks awesome, doesn't he?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so much better than Joe.
Oh.
Joe's the human Ken
Todd,
doll.
you know what, Todd?
You're an instigator.
I know, that's what I'm the host of the
Why do you
podcast.
Even in the interview today, he
Why do
made
you
us
always
squash
pick
our
on
little
Joe?
bit of beef that we had today.
Well, here's the thing
We
is that I
squashed
know
it
we
today.
both know that he
Oh,
can.
that's nice.
Yeah.
We both know Joe can
Did you
kick
hug
my
your
ass
hand?
No,
instantly.
we shook hands. It was good. It was
Gentlemen.
nice. Yeah,
Gentlemen.
we respect each
Oh,
other.
yeah. I saved the day between these two. I'm a peacemaker.
Peacemaker. But
Right.
but you're also an instigator.
Right.
You can't
Yeah.
be both.
Yes.
No,
Break them down and then you build them back up. Isn't
Interesting.
that what you would do if a new student came to the gym, right? Trying to learn how to kickbox. First, you just kind of.
It depends on what kind of attitude they came in with. Each case is specific. It's not like a one size fits all kind of thing. If they come in with a little bit of an ego and a chip on their shoulder, and then I'm gonna break them down.
What got you into fighting when you were a little girl?
Oh, I love Ninja Turtles. I wanted to be like Ninja Turtles.
Who's
Power
your
Rangers.
favorite?
Michelangelo.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, nunchucks.
Could you
Hard to do.
not? Could you not hit on our guests while you're on the air, Joe? For God's sake.
I'm trying, man.
You
There's
know,
no
it was my
underarm
favorite
deodorant. It's
too.
killing me though. I
That
don't want
was
to
my
get too
favorite
close.
Jeez.
I saw it. Your parents didn't let you fight until you were 18.
Well, I wanted to do it, the Muay Thai, because I did, karate tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
point sparring. I wanted to do something more full contact, and I started training in Muay Thai when I was 16, and they were not cool with that at all, and so I had to wait until I was a legal adult and could sign my own release to do it, so 18.
Well, I wanted to play hockey. My parents said it was too violent, so they put me in Taekwondo, and look where I ended up. I don't get it. Yeah. Parents tried to. I showed them, didn't I?
Sure did.
When did you find out or think you could beat anyone like at a world-class level where you could do this for a career?
I didn't even plan on going pro. I was just playing soccer at university at Cal State San Marcos, and had wandered into a kickboxing gym, LA Boxing actually, not even a kickboxing gym, because one of my teammates said it had just opened and they were doing specials for students, and I figured, it'd be cool to kick a bag again. I haven't trained in any martial arts in a while, and the guy teaching the class, who's my coach at home, Alex Palma, he came up to me after the class and was like, hey, you got some skills. You have any experience? I'm like, yeah, I've done karate for a long time, and I have a couple of smokers in Muay Thai. I had 2 at the time. And he's like, oh, you want to fight again? There's one coming up. I can help get you ready. And I was just like, no, I'm a soccer player, and I'm just kind of just, getting a different kind of workout in and kicking the bag again. And he goes, oh, well, if you change your mind, here's my card. Think about it. And took me a whole 10 minutes after I got home, sat down to do my homework, and I had his card on my desk, and I looked at it, and I called him. I'm like, so what's the deal with that fight? And the rest is history. But just training and competing on the amateur circuit in San Diego, and I had a fight in Vegas as an amateur, and my coach called me probably 10 days before the fight, or a week before the fight, and he goes, hey, I have some good news and some bad news. And I'm like, what's the bad news? My opponent dropped out? He goes, yeah. I'm like, so what's the good news in that? He goes, you're going to make your pro debut. I was like, what? Are you sure I'm good enough? And at this point I had about 10, maybe 11 amateur fights. And he goes, yeah, you're gonna fight this girl from the Ukraine. And she's really good. She's won a couple titles, but you'll be fine. And I'm like, I've never fought with elbows before. He goes, oh, we'll start learning them tomorrow. So I started learning how to throw elbows a week before my pro debut, and then I ended up making my pro debut in Vegas and winning in the second round. She didn't answer the bell for the third, and then again, just like how my amateur career started, I wanted to do it just to try it. 1 turned into 2, 3, 4, same thing with being pro. My 1 pro fight, I was like, oh, I made some money, awesome, sweet. And I'm a college kid at the time,
Yeah.
oh, sweet, I was stoked, but I had no idea it was going to turn into this.
Now you have same with me. We both have a degree in kinesiology. Do you think it helped you in your career?
No, it took
No?
took time away from me being in the gym when I had to study for exams.
Yeah, true. Yeah, same with me. But
I used to use Muay Thai to learn anatomy.
Yeah, that's how I did it.
Volcron onto mandible, elbow someone in the jaw, right? Knockout, right?
Well, I would use all my sports-specific training was all thinking kickboxing in my head, so it kind of helped a little bit learning energy systems and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But I was an average student. I was a C's get degrees kind of student.
Yeah.
I'm not really I don't like school. I never really have, but I went and I finished, and I learned what I needed to, and I got through it. But now I'm a pro fighter, so it's awesome.
You just told us about your kickboxing debut, Muay Thai debut. What about your MMA debut? I know it didn't go how you wanted. What are your thoughts on continuing in that sport?
No, I hate losing more than I love winning, so I'm super hungry to get back in there and redeem myself. I fought a really, really tough opponent, a D1 wrestler. Classic matchup, striker versus grappler. She went in as 6-0 as an amateur, making her pro debut. So she had more experience than me in a cage. That was my first time ever fighting in a cage. And, I had pre-fight jitters. I was confident in my training, but when I got in there, the bell rang. It was like this weird dream kind of where, I saw her shoot in for a takedown, and I watched it happen, and in my head I'm like, all right, sprawl or angle, right? And then my body was just super slow to react. It was just this, I got nervous, and it happens, but the worst thing happened that I was afraid of. I got choked out, and now that it's happened, I'm not afraid of it. And so, I'm just twice as hungry to get back in there and redeem myself.
When I was looking at it, how was the 4-ounce gloves? When you fought no shin guards for the first time, you're let me see how this shit feels, right?
Yeah.
And then you hit it, you're like, it's not so bad. Was that how it was with the 4-ounce gloves?
I dropped her with a punch, I think in the first round, and it felt like I didn't even do anything. I just threw a punch, and when it landed and she was in front of me on the ground, I was like, whoa.
That's nice. This is nice.
It was crazy. But then on the other end, she had me up against the cage at one point on the ground and started throwing some ground and pound. Luckily, none of it landed cleanly, but some of them glanced. And at that moment, when I felt them glance off me, I was like, oh man, this is real. These gloves are small. This hurts a little bit more. This is crazy. Stand up.
See, I was training for an MMA fight, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this. It's I find with you, it's going to be the whole training camp's going to be takedown defense.
Yeah,
and
no,
to me, it
that's
kind of
exactly
seems
what it
boring
was.
to me, right? It was kind of like, I just know every fight I'm going to do, they're going to try to take me down. So that's kind of what steered me away. Like, I'd be bored training for fights.
Yeah, no, I mean, it got a little repetitive and redundant, but obviously I got to work on it more. So
You seem to handle your loss really well. A lot of people think.
I didn't at first. It
Really?
took me a couple weeks. I was not in a good place. I got the SADs really bad, really bad. I was like, I couldn't stand it.
What do you think about how Ronda Rousey's handling her loss to Holly Holm? I mean, we haven't even heard from her hardly in almost a year, and she's fighting at the end of the month.
Yeah, I mean, she's super competitive too. I mean, she's an Olympian, and she's probably just ultra focused and gonna.
So you think she's gonna come back? And some people are like, she's shot, she's done, mentally she's broken down. You think she'll come back stronger than ever?
Yeah, absolutely. I have all the faith in the world. I have a lot of respect for Ronda. She's a very tough competitor. She's an athlete, and I've sparred with her a few times. She hits really hard. I've seen she works really hard, and I have all the faith in the world. It's gonna be a good fight, but she's gonna show up to fight.
Circling back to kickboxing, since that's what this is, a glory kickboxing contest. The only podcast. Did I say contest?
Yeah.
That was stupid. Let's talk about Sidichai's title defense. That's the only championship fight we haven't discussed, Joe.
The Sidichai, and I keep going back on this one. It's going to be a tough one for Sidichai. Guys are starting to figure out that left kick.
Yeah, I was just going to say the left kick. That's his thing, his timing and the speed on that.
So what's your take on it? I was asking Sidichai earlier. Those arm kicks, right? Would you score those arm kicks if you were a referee?
Would I score them? If they were not countered.
Did you watch his fight with Robin Van Roosmalen?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Would you score those kicks?
They didn't look like they slowed him down too much. So,
because the Dutch, he's fighting a Dutch guy, and the Dutch like to come forward. Gregorian likes to come forward. So if he's eating those shots and keep coming, and he's still continually coming forward, would you count those or?
No, but if he's eating them and they're unanswered, then yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah, it's all due to the damage, I think. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fight regardless. I think Gregorian's a monster, and talking to like Nicky Hemmers, he's gonna stand in that pocket and just exchange punches, eat those kicks, stay in the pocket, and just go.
We're bringing in another guest. He's our kickboxing historian. How do we introduce you? You're a kickboxing historian. You wear size medium shirts. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. What do you want us to say?
You can call me sir.
Sir. All right, we've got tons of fights Saturday. Give us an under-the-radar fight that no one's really talking about that should be off the chart.
An under-the-radar fight that no one's really talking about.
Can I give you a hint on one?
He just came into the podcast.
I'm
You get to
gonna-
answer every question.
I'm quite interested in Tijani Bistati, who's the youngest guy that Glory have ever signed. And he's fighting an experienced guy, Andre Brule. But this kid's 19. Fights him on the Super Fight Series. I think he opens the Super Fight Series.
Yeah.
And he looks really good. Like if ever you've seen a guy come up from his teenage years who looks like a prospect from pretty much the first entry level fight that he had is this guy. So that's going to be interesting.
Did you see those flying knee knockouts he has?
Everything he does is.
Is he the one who's trained by the Flying Dutchman?
No. That's Daniel Wilunga.
Yeah. What do you expect from him?
Flying knees, obviously, like he does. Lunga's going to go after it because he was the number one in the division for a long time, but the division wasn't really so full. And then when Glory got going and it opened up the light heavyweight division, some guys dropped down from heavyweight to light heavyweight, like Tyrone Spong and Gokhan Saki, and Ilunga found himself dislodged from the top spot, which really annoyed him. He's still sore about the fact that the Glory 9 light heavyweight tournament, he was in the final with Spong, and the referee stopped the fight when Spong was delivering a barrage, but Daniel was kind of covering up. He was in a little bit of trouble maybe, but I don't know, whether it was a good stoppage or not. I personally wouldn't have stopped the fight there.
What's a barrage?
It's
you mean a barrage?
a sequence of repeated blows.
Barrage?
What do you call it?
It's a barrage.
Right, well, you'll be getting one in a minute.
All right, pretend she's not here, okay? Give us your prediction for the women's tournament.
The final is going to be Tiffany van Soest against Mma Debut, and I just want to see that fight, man. I'm just really looking forward to seeing that clash. No disrespect to Jessica Gladstone or Isis Verbeek. You know, they're both strong, they're both talented girls, and you know, they can win their fights on their day. But I just think in this tournament it's going to be Tiffany and Mel, and may the best girl win. It's going to be a good fight.
You know what fight I'm excited about that's under the radar? No one's talking
Nikki
about
Hoskins.
No.
I know you're a big Hoskin fan.
Hey, we squashed it today. You missed that part of the podcast. We squashed that today.
I brought them together, man.
Yeah. But I'm looking for, excited for Mosab Imrani against Fabio Pinca. I think just because Pinca hasn't been in glory, man, Pinca's a stud. He's got tons of good fight experience. He's fought the best highs across the world.
Well, he's fought in glory twice.
Yeah, he's 0-2, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's like early day glories. And
Wah, wah.
well, he is 0-2. He fought Giorgio Petrosian, and who was the second one? Let's see.
Oh, if he pulls this out.
Wow.
Let's see. I can look it up.
Giant British Senators.
He fought Petrosian, and I want to say maybe Kyria.
I don't think it was Kerry.
Not easy bites.
I think it was Kyria.
Listen, not easy bites.
Who is it?
Alessandro Campagna.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
that's right, that's right.
Glory 3. Yeah, I should have known that.
3, that's way back.
That was way back. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's Pinker's looked good under kickboxing rules lately. He's a Muay Thai guy.
Yeah,
Trains
he's
with a very
fought
Muay
a
Thai
live
team.
fight
Yeah.
a few times. Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
I think he had the title at one point too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an absolute stud.
I mean,
You want to hear the fight I'm most excited about, or does anyone care?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you've started now, so you might as well carry on.
Sadiq versus Long.
Yeah, that's
Because
gonna be a banger.
Ismail's been very patient about getting his title shot, and he keeps winning. But if he loses this to Sadiq, why would anyone want to see him against Rico next? There's no reason.
Because in the UFC, you know, you wouldn't, if you lose a fight, that's it, you're out of the mix. But the way they do it in Glory, if you win a tournament,
No, I know how it
they'll
works,
usually
but
honour.
why
They'll
would you
usually
want
honour
to?
it.
Why would you, if like he just lost to Sadiq? Oh, can't wait to see him versus Rico.
Yeah, but I think it depends how you lose. You know, if you had a war and it was a decision and it was like a close decision and it was a debatable thing, then you know I wouldn't begrudge him the title
But
shot
that's not
because he
going to
did
be
win
this
the
kind of
tournament.
fight. This is going to be a kill fight, right?
It could be over in 15 seconds.
Yeah. Who do you think wins?
I think the fans win, Todd. That's who I think
Oh my
wins.
God.
Todd just loves getting people to give the real answer.
I really don't want to put money on that fight, man, because it's a cliche with heavyweight fights, but you know, whoever lands clean can finish the fight. Power advantage I would give to Jamal. I think that
Power advantage over the Goliath you give to.
I'll give
to Jamal.
Yeah, to Jamal.
Okay.
But then the work rate and the variety, probably
He's a
Ismail.
wide swinger, huh, Joe?
This is,
Jamal.
yeah, he's getting better though.
He's got a good
he's
straight
working
right.
on it. He's good. He's good. But my big thing is I think Lon's gonna be a little bit more active on the inside. And you can't give Sadiq that room to kind of throw those hooks and big bombs,
Oh,
right?
but the danger shot with Sadiq as well is that straight right. Like if you look at his fight in Glory 23, Las Vegas with Anderson Silva, and Silva was winning that fight for 2.5 rounds, you know, and was enjoying himself. And then at one point, Silva landed a combination, kind of stood back to admire his work, like, oh, that was a good shot. And then Jamal just went bang, fight done, one shot. So
You know, a fight I'd like to see: Jamal bin Sadiq versus Tiffany van Soest. And let me tell you why if you think I'm crazy. I used to work at the WWE, and I saw Rey Mysterio beat the Big Show. I called the fight. It happened. Why can't it happen in Glory?
I can see that because
Right?
Tiffany's been training some MMA.
Stick and move, stick and move. And then when he gets real cocky,
Yeah.
boom, over.
Or like double leg shot between his legs.
I think Tiffany has to go off.
Banana kick,
I think she's got to go off the top
banana
rope,
tree
man.
kick, yes.
Yeah, give him a rear naked off the top rope.
All right, I think once we start talking about Rey Mysterio versus the Big Show, I think it's time to wrap the podcast up. Do you not agree? All right, Tiffany, thanks for being a part of the show.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
having
this
me.
weekend.
Thank you,
Hope
guys.
you win.
Thank you.
Thanks, John, for piping in with your British accent.
Thanks, Todd, for having me.
You
Always a pleasure.
You always sound smarter than you are because you do have that British accent. And Joseph Valtellini, the human Ken doll.
Thank you.
Thank
Kickboxing
you.
fan.
All right,
That's it.
everybody. What
We
a
got more in
podcast.
store soon.